Leetcode170, two sums, number 3, data structure design. So the requirement is we design and implement a two-sum class. It should support the following operations: add and find. So we can use these two functions to add numbers into this data class, and also we can use the find to find the two sum. If there is two numbers in this structure equals to the value we put into the find, right? A straightforward thinking will be to using array, right? So let's see if we design array, and we can using array.append to just add a number into it, and then we add another one, another one, another one, right? Then when we do the find function, we can do because it's a two sum. A straightforward thinking is the classic two pointers method to get this, right? For array, we will check if the two pointers add together equals to the value. So if we're using that way, however, if we want to use in two pointers function, there is a requirement that this array has to be sorted, right? So if we see this array, for example, 1, 3, 7, 5, when we try to add 5, this 5 has to be here for this two pointer method to work. So we have to sort this one. That's why in this add function, you cannot just append it to this array. We have to sort it as well. So when we sort it, we will need on time complex to do that. And after that, when we do the find function, because it's a two pointers method, the timed complex will be on as well. However, if you implement this using this array data structure, you will find your program will be timed out. Obviously, there has to be a quicker way to do this, right? So that's why we can think into using a better way than on will either be O log n or O1, right? And let's target for O1. If we're thinking O1, we think about the hash map, right? And we know that for two pointers question, we can also use a hash map to solve this, because instead of store the number, right, in an array or we sorted array, we can use in a dictionary to store the mapping relationship between the number with the count, how many times this number is showing, right, in this data structure. And then when we do the find, we can using a value, the target value minus the number, and then to check if the result still in this hash map. In map or not, right? If we can find it, then that means we do have some numbers in the map. Okay, so let's try to use it this way to code it up. Because we're trying to using a map, so let's do a init function to design our data structure. We will call it count. Let's do a map. Here, we will just check if the add number is already in our mapping. If it is already in, so we just need to increase the count of this number, right? And if it is not, we will just initialize this number's count equals to 1, and that's it. Okay, so when we do the find, because we only have a value, right? So we have to fix one side of the number and then to calculate if the other side, the other number exists. That's why we still need a for loop to do that. So let's do if a number if none in self for I'm sorry none in self count. This is mapping. We'll check if value minus number is still in this mapping. If it is, we probably need to think about condition, right? We need to check if it is already in it. What if, let's see, we have array, got a 2, right? 3, 7, and our target is number 4. So when we do this, we check, for example, we check, right, if this value number 4 minus 2, but this is 2 is in this map. And in our case, it is in the map, right? But however, we only have 1, 2, right? There is no the second 2. We already used it once, and then we can not use it again. So in this case, this 2 is not meet our requirement to get number 4, right? And however, if we have another 2 here, then this 2 will be qualified the requirement. So the real case is the real question is really check if we have a number here, and if this number equals to I mean if the value minus number, this value equals to the number itself, then we need to check how many times this number is in our map, right? If this count 2 is larger than 1, at least I have 2, right? Then we can have 2 numbers added together to equals the value. And if, for example, this target is equals to 5, if it is the 5, is then equals to, as long as 3 is this value is not equals to the number we are checking. If we find it, we don't have to check if how many times this value is. As long as we find 1, then they meet the requirement, because this value doesn't equals to the number we used. So let's go back to add some conditions to this code. So we check if this divided value, no, if this value minus number is also in this self-count mapping, then we need to check. This will be too long. If this value minus num is not equals number, right? This is the 5 minus 2 equals 3 condition. Then we don't have to do anything. Or if they are equals, then we need to check if self.count none is larger than 1. If this is larger than 1, we're still okay. That's why in this case, we will return true. Okay, otherwise we will return false. Let's check it. Okay. All right. This is the solution.